gentlemen, welcome back to the TWB, the wrestling bubble, and Raw was a dookie, to be honest. We had the return of Goldberg. We have Jey Uso main event, Raw tonight in the Fatal 4-Way in the King of the Ring. We had an injury from Kairi Sane again to Liv Morgan. And we had a few other things. Let's start off by the opening, shall we? We had Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio opening up Monday Night Morgan. I will start out by saying this segment was quite interesting. Apparently, Dominic is back being booed and unable to be talked to. So, what are your thoughts about this segment?
I love this segment. It was one of the more entertaining segments of the show. Anytime you get Liv Morgan on the mic and you let her cook, you will be thoroughly entertained. And then you throw in Dirty Dom, who can't get 3 words out without the crowd just booing all over him.
They might as well throw tomatoes at him, to be honest.
Man, that'd probably be better than them just completely drowning out everything he's saying. But you got Liv Morgan talk a big talk and saying basically she coming after Io Sky. And she calls Io Sky, and Io Sky comes out.
And she talk her man, Io Sky English has improved.
Definitely.
By 1,000. Let's just say, let's keep it 1,000.
Yeah.
As Jacob Fatu. Let's keep it 100.
Yada I mean.
Like, Io's basically letting Liv know it's time for you to shut up, get in the back of the line, and prove to me that you deserve a rematch for the Women's World Champion.
So, in other words, she got to earn it.
Yeah. Because right now, you've been taking L's after L's after L's. So Io don't even see what's the point of giving you a rematch because first of all, you ain't lose to Io, you lost to Rhea Ripley is what Io is trying to say. So rematch, I'll come back to you on that until you get some dubs. But you know, Liv is basically letting her know, first of all, chick, I done beat you 2 times, I believe. And no one else haven't beat you yet. Not even Rhea Ripley. Not even Bianca Belair. I beat you 2 times. So I don't need to prove nothing to you. Just hand me the title so I don't have to beat you the 3rd time.
And Io say, okay. You want me to just hand you the title? So she hands her the title after, thinking about it for a little bit. And then she proceeds to hit her with a drop kick.
Man, that was not only did she drop kick her, she done smack her across the head with her little it was like a toe kick also.
Yeah, well, that was the Dominic.
Oh, she did it to Liv too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know when he was checking on Liv, she kicked him in the back of the head.
Yeah, because she said, "You can get some too." So of course, both of them end up scrambling out of the ring, and Io doing her little ha 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 genius of the sky.
Yo, the crowd was into it, like from start to finish. It was a good opener.
Great opener. And then from there, everything else just seemed a little off. Let's just start off. We had the return of the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
Nobody's ready.
Nobody is ready for Asuka. So that was pretty much the first match, the 2025 Queen of the Ring. We had Asuka versus Stephanie Vaquer versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Ivy Nile. You know what? Hearing those names, honestly, a lot of them did good. Raquel, a little rusty, but she did her thing too.
She's getting a little better.
She's definitely getting a little better. I do agree with that.
It's the reps. They're helping.
And return of Asuka, I will start off by saying it was so great to see Asuka back in the ring again. Yes, she did gain a little weight, and yes, she looks like she skipped leg day, but it was great to see her back in the ring, putting in her work, doing her crazy moves that you can never figure out Asuka. And I believe all 4 women did a great job. Yeah. And Stephanie Vaquer, what she called a devil's kiss, is way over than the RKO. It's ridiculous.
Yo, they gotta eat, just keep it organic. That's it. Like, don't force it into being in every match and stuff because you're gonna wear it out really quick. Anytime the
Mhm.
crowd starts to really love something, they start to get tired of it just the same. So it's like, yes, we like the move, whatever, but like now they're like doing 10 counts,
10 counts,
right?
and I
They're
noticed
pretty much
she
expecting it every
right,
match,
and she also trying to do a devil's kiss in different areas. Like
right?
when she did it with Raquel Rodriguez, she pretty much did it in the outside of the
On the
ring
apron.
on the apron, exactly. And then I was like, dang, it was already 10 because I feel like she only hit 5, but whatever. So there's that, and the one she did at Rhea Ripley at Money in the Bank. So it's like she's trying to do it in different ways that people could be like, oh my gosh, so it doesn't have to feel so worn out inside
Trying to
the
go
ring.
viral.
Right. But that thing's already viral. Like Randy hit an RKO Friday, and that thing barely got a pop. Before the moment Stephanie Becker throws up that one and she holds their hair, everyone already know it's time to kiss. It's time to kiss, and it's gonna be the devil's kiss. So look, that thing is over. I mean, it is what it is. Sorry, Randy, but all women put up a great move. Asuka has honestly, Asuka when she get a couple more reps in, she will, be back. Because remind you, she did suffer an injury. A knee injury is something hard to recover. But what I also found in the match, they're also building another storyline with Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley. Last week, Raquel interrupted Rhea's match, and Rhea decided to get revenge on this chick and interrupt her match.
You know what I want to see? With this little rivalry between Rhea Ripley, excuse me, Rhea Bloody Ripley, and Raquel. I need to see some promos.
Yep.
I need to see them talking some trash. I don't just want to see random brawls and they catching each other off guard. That can come, and that needs to happen after some promos. And once they start jumping each other and etc., there needs to also be more promos in and out of the ring. There needs to be like something to really make it personal.
Mm-hmm.
They need to catch each other like when they least expect it, off premises.
I agree. And that's why I'm kind of glad that they're pretty much what I'm noticing. They're trying to recreate the storyline because remember when Raquel first came,
Right.
her debut was trash. Let's just be honest. And when you talk about promos, I'm pretty sure they're gonna start. Well, I think Rhea's gonna come out first, most likely, cutting promos next Monday. That's what they're gonna be to build. I don't know if they're trying to build this for Saturday Night Main Event because let's be honest, the last few Saturday Night Main Events been 2 thumbs down in my opinion.
Yeah, and this has the potential to be like a really big rivalry in the women's division of like two of the biggest women outside of like Nia Jax and Piper Niven, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this has the potential to be one of those fight forever type of rivalries, right? Between two opponents that can match each other. And I say could because obviously Raquel needs more in-ring work to kind of get really back into it because remember she had a lot of time off.
Right.
And during that time, that was like kind of pivotal because Triple H kind of went and officially became head of creative with no Vince behind him or anything like that. They had the WrestleMania 40 where it was just like they were rocking and rolling. So you got your Rhea Ripley's, your Liv Morgan's, your Dominic Mysterio. Like a lot of people got better during that time, right? And Raquel didn't get to experience any of that. So she's still kind of where she was.
Mm-hmm.
But like we say, she's slowly getting better. So it's just I wouldn't want it to be a feud where it only goes to like main event and then they just don't go back to it. Like they don't continue whatever they got going on. Like I feel like this is something that you could just let marinate. Like it's always there. Kind of like how Rhea and Liv, but they completely went away from that.
I feel like I get what you're saying. Like basically it should be no longer till SummerSlam. Let's say they do Saturday Night Main Event. Let's say Raquel got the upper hand and they ended at SummerSlam.
Or I'm thinking more like I'm not gonna say Austin Rock because that's more of like a Rhea versus Bianca or something. You know what I mean? That's a bigger. But this needs to be more like Triple H versus Cactus Jack. type of, you know what I mean? Where it's like, it's not exactly the main event, but it's a pretty good rivalry where you can get a few different matches out of, and you can stretch that over a pretty good length of time because they don't have to always directly be engaged with. It doesn't have to be like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre was for like a year straight, and now they finally go in their separate ways. This is something where it's like we know they don't like each other. We can always come back to it at any point in time, and that's how you get the multiple matches and the multiple stories out of it. You know, it doesn't have to be that long drawn out back to back to back to back, and then we're just tired of it.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll just sit back, relax, and see what Triple H got us cooking. Because let's be honest, a lot of people have been giving Triple H a lot of heat lately.
Well deserved too, honestly.
Yes.
And another thing I wanted to say about Raquel and Rhea is you consider Raquel is another big woman, right? Okay, I think we all saw the way she hit that Tejana bomb on Stephanie Vaquer tonight. Okay, that was nasty. All right, we ain't see Stephanie the rest of the match. Thank you. Come again. All right. So I don't know. It's just like people been calling Rhea Hogan, and I think Raquel is one of those opponents where Rhea doesn't have to just look completely dominant the whole time. Like this is gonna be more believable. Look at Raquel. Okay, look at how she be tossing people around. So this is something where Rhea may end up coming across as an underdog in this if Raquel can be that, you know, that opponent that Rhea needs her to be. So, anyways, I mean, I look at this as a big opportunity for Raquel.
Yeah, I agree. This will also put Raquel back in the, you know, the runnings, catching up with the Judgment Day, like you said. Dominic's already established, Liv's established, Finn is established. He's just pretty much in storylines. Perez, she's already well known, like known in the main roster, not well known, but she's getting there.
And you could tell she's got a strong enough personality and whatnot
to stand out.
Yeah.
So this will be better for Raquel. And as we talk about more standing out, after Raquel's defeat, we made it back to the Judgment Day Clubhouse. And pretty much Raquel is not feeling Liv Morgan's strategies no more. It's like she's slowly... It's like the question is, what is Finn up to? Is he trying to break up the Judgment Day or something?
Yes.
Let's talk about it. Because I feel like he is too. You know, like during this, like pretty much Liv is over it. She's telling Raquel, girl, bye. I'm just going to do this myself then. Because apparently you can't get it done. So I just got to do it myself. And then Finn is just cheesing like, Raquel, you know what? She's wrong. You're doing just fine. So it's like he's trying to butter her up. Then you have Dominic telling...
He's just causing confusion.
Period. Pretty much. Because look how Dominic was telling her he should hold down the fort because he could have taken care of AJ Styles last time. And then Finn, it's like he's so close to want to explode, but he has to remind himself this is all he's trying. He has to stick with the plan. I got to focus on the plan, you know. And not Raquel, I'm pretty sure Roxanne Perez know what the plan is. Because he was so quick to tell Roxanne, let's talk sideline about how she can help Liv Morgan. And Raquel kind of made a side eye like, what's Finn up to? So someone needs to investigate because Finn got something cooking in the kitchen and nobody figured it out by now. So it's rather Finn's throwing him off, or are they throwing Finn off? See, that could be the twist.
Hey, maybe
right
something would have happened tonight, but we will get to that when we cross that bridge. But what was the next segment?
The next segment... Oh, sorry, I woke up.
Yeah.
The next segment was what everybody been talking about for like a year and some change. Gunther is our new world heavyweight champion like he's supposed to be. Rikishi stopped crying. Jay was a champion long enough. And we was tortured long enough. So we had to move on. Okay?
Hold on. What about Jimmy? What about Solo? Oh, we don't talk about Bruno.
Exactly.
All right.
So pretty much Gunther's letting everyone know that the belt is exactly where it needs to be. We're done playing these games, okay? And it's time for the rightful champ to be carrying the World Heavyweight Championship. And guess who returned when Gunther decided who's gonna be his next opponent.
Dun, dun, da-da-da, 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 da-da-da.
You guessed it, ladies and gentlemen. The return of Goldberg. Let's take a moment of silence. Because nobody shouldn't have been surprised. We've been talking about this for years now. That Goldberg is going to be taking on Gunther at, well, we were surprised it would be Saturday Night Main Event, but we've been talking about this forever. Since Gunther been talking trash to Goldberg about his family and his son should be ashamed of him because Goldberg is not who he used to be. First of all, Goldberg was 1 foot of falling out the ring. Okay.
Man.
And not only was he about to fall, he was spitting on Gunther. I was like, dang. Like,
man, he had the crab walk down. Like, he just was wobbling to the
I was like,
ring.
is this Goldberg or
His
Mr.
knees,
Crab?
Yo, his knees looked like they were just buckled every step he took. Oh my gosh. Yo, a spear?
Forget about it. Jackhammer, don't even think about it.
A spear? You might as well just eliminate that from your moveset. A spear? Yo, remember whenever he hit Fiend with that? I'm afraid I'm ashamed to even call it a jackhammer. That was on in Saudi. That was at one of those like crown jewel or something.
And I thought if the Fiend was gonna fall on him,
Yo,
he was...
mind you, this happened after Seth hit Fiend with like everything but the kitchen sink at like a Hell in a Cell or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Fiend still kept kicking out. Like he hit him with like 9 curb stomps.
But then apparently a jackhammer.
Yo, but it wasn't even a jackhammer. It was just like it looked more like a brain buster because he couldn't lift him up.
Because them knees was buckling.
Yo, and that was like at least 6 years ago.
This is embarrassing.
That that might even been 7 years ago. Point is, back then he couldn't even lift up the Fiend. What is he supposed to do to Gunther?
Nothing.
What are we doing?
He better not lift up Gunther, is all I know.
I mean, if he do, he gonna throw his hip out or something. Like what? Like, man, gonna walk around here with a bad back. Like,
to get back on topic, you stupid. To get back on topic, pretty much Gunther will be fighting Goldberg at Saturday Night Main Event, July 12th at Atlanta, Georgia. Bruh, Gunther, you deserve better. Goldberg, you should have stayed retired. And I am honestly not looking forward to this match. Goldberg is not in his primes. He is one step of not croaking over, but them knees is about to lock up.
So, yeah, in other words, this match needs to be a squash match. Sorry. Goldberg, look, we remember you from WCW, all right? Listen, I was watching every week to see who you was going to spear next, okay? Who's next? I got to know.
Well, it's about to be you because I don't think it's Gunther.
Listen, man, we know you had the juice back in the day, but you dried up now, bro.
It's so sad.
You're dried up now. Okay, let it go. And why does he have to go for a championship?
It's
every
in his
time
contract.
He comes back. Every time we see this dude, he got to fight for a title.
You know what? I'll be upset about this if they make Gunther lose.
I mean, every time he's come back like this, he beat whoever we was like, nah, they ain't gonna put the belt on. Nah, he ain't gonna beat the Fiend.
That's exactly.
Nah,
the moment he beat the Fiend, that was right when he beat the Fiend. I was like, y'all just ruined the Fiend's character. Let's just start off with that.
Yo, then he beat Bobby Lashley too.
I think so.
Remember? All right, so it was the match after Bobby speared him off the stage into the table or whatever.
Yes, that was.
And we were like, I know he didn't just beat Bobby.
Well, he beat him.
What the?
So that's why I'm not looking forward to this match because I'm like, okay, first of all, Goldberg can barely walk. Okay, he was literally he should have just walked sideways like Mr. Krabs. And then on top of that, if I swear to God, if he beats Gunther, I am going to Lord, I don't. You know what? Moving on to the next
Yo, what's
segment.
the finish gonna be?
I'm
It ain't
done.
gonna be no damn
I
jackhammer.
don't even want to talk
Ain't
about this no
no
more.
way.
Next segment, we have AJ Styles versus JD McDonough with Dominic Mysterio because he said Finn can't get the job done. Well, apparently AJ Styles got beef with Judgment Day. Now I thought he had beef with Seth Rollins and them. I don't know. AJ Styles all over the place.
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't give two shits about this match.
Me
All
either.
right, I don't care what they got going on.
Let's just
This
sum
is
it all up.
undercard garbage. Okay,
It was garbage
at its finest.
So AJ Styles won. I'm like, if you're shocked or anything, we already know JD McDonough is already in the group just to take pins and stuff. So he pretty much destroyed JD McDonough, sorry, with his phenomenal forearm. And of course, Finn tried to save Dominic out of the ring, and then Styles walks away with the Intercontinental Championship.
What a downgrade.
Lord.
Man, this dude's supposed to be fighting Seth and Cody and all them.
You know what's another downgrade is having Sheamus interacting with the Alpha Academy.
Damn.
And Natalia. Like,
hey, Sheamus is like, listen, I'm just over here to get these kids some reps. Those title days are over.
Yeah.
Now I just do banger after banger after banger. You know the deal.
Yeah, because he's done with burger after burger after burger. So, yeah, AJ Styles, I mean, I hope he doesn't win the belt, but at the same time, I do. But I'm pretty sure he probably not because it looks like the end game is supposed to be Finn taking the belt off of Dominic. So, let's just we'll just have to sit back and see how that's gonna go.
It's just gonna be boring getting there, except for their backstage segments. Those are interesting. You know, even though they're not saying much, it's like we know what they're emphasizing. Like we know what they're like Finn, the looks he gives and stuff. Like we know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of interesting, we had the return of Bailey. Ding dong! She is coming for Becky's Intercontinental
Hold up. When that music hit, when they play her song and the crowd stood up and then they sat back down.
Well, we ain't gonna talk about it. That's why I skipped all that part. Pretty much, Bailey is still getting the same reaction she got last time. Nothing.
Exactly. No pop.
Even Becky got a pop because she was wearing the Chicago Bears and she let everyone know they beat y'all though. Moving on from that. So, of course, they had a little quick back and forth, you know, talking trash and stuff. Like Becky really went low, asking Bailey, when was the last time you hold a title? Like, dang.
Well, before they even got to that, remember, all right, Bailey was out there by herself cutting a promo. And Bailey was basically talking about, without saying it, like how they did her at WrestleMania.
Pretty much they did her.
It's like how they basically removed her. And Bailey, she was out with injury or whatever, like because she got attacked, wink wink.
Let's start off with this. Ever since R-Truth's return, it's like everybody started having balls and started saying how they really feel. Bailey let everyone know that she was raw for WrestleMania, Triple H, and she ain't gonna stand for it. So she gonna put this in her promo. Ding dong, because she don't care. And then she gonna throw out there, Triple H, that she deserves to become a women's Intercontinental Champion, Triple H, because if it wasn't for Becky decided to come back after being gone for a year, and you know she didn't like, because this is what I agree with Bailey about. The fans wasn't feeling Becky no more. I was like, dang, she went there. So she said, you decided to leave for a year, and then you decided to come back and got a title shot. What the what? So then Becky's trying to make, you know, it's like they got super personal. And I'm like, dang, like, y'all are two washed-up wrestlers.
That's the thing. Like, the crowd didn't care at all until they started. It's like they started blurring the lines a little bit,
right?
And I was like, okay, I'm rocking with you. What y'all finna talk about? So they proceed to like tell the truth. That's all they was doing. They was just telling the truth from the fans' perspective, and also like highlighting how their careers have been parallel, except one has been above the other the whole time. Becky over Bailey.
But
And Becky ends up saying something about that. What she say? The problem is
she
you were
basically
comfortable being second.
fit exactly. But Becky did not stop there. She let her know not only were you second fiddle, but you're much like the Packers. You rather have your little group of friends than your legacy, but I rather always prefer to have my legacy than a group of fake ass friends. Mic drop. Becky, you know what? I'm with you when you say that, girl, because you right. Like, they only around you because they want something from you. But you know what? I'm going to eliminate myself from these fake friends and start my own legacy. And she sure did. I remember there was a time before Becky turned on Charlotte, Becky actually was supposed to get fired. And she decided, no, I'm going to turn heel. Not heel, but she turned to a tweener in a way. Because she was supposed to be heel, but the crowd loved her too much.
Right.
And not only will I be a great tweener, I got my nose broken. I'm going to become the man on top of that. Because when she did broke her nose, my girl still was trying to fight. So that's how the man came about. So Becky created her own legacy. And Bailey turned heel. She decided to become the ding dong girl and proceed to only win tag team titles. Damn. And Becky won women's titles. Yes, she's the Intercontinental Championship because she chose to become a mid-card champion. Not that she needed to. She chose to. Because I'm pretty sure it's in her contract. But you know what? I like the little back and forth Bailey and Becky was doing. It was personal. It was real. You felt the passion, the hate, the anger towards each other. And to the point that now Becky and Bailey is going to be fighting next Monday for the Intercontinental Championship.
You know what this segment told me? For me, this was two vets, two horsewomen, right? Okay. 2 out of the 3 that are still left there, right? Because Charlotte's one of them, right? Okay, so this was like the blueprint for the younger women wrestlers that are in WWE. This is the blueprint. Listen, ladies, this is how we're talking now. Like, we gonna come out here and we gonna spit it just like the men do. You know what I mean? Because, like, they got, like, it. All right, with Bailey talking, Bailey was, like, really shooting for a minute. It was, like, almost like, okay, like, they let her keep talking. This is starting to feel pipe bombish. You know what I mean? And then Becky comes out, and they do their little sports entertainment for a little bit. And then they really start going in on each other. And I say, okay, I like it. Like, what else y'all got? I mean, listen, I feel like this was like the blueprint. This was like them saying, ladies, we got to come out here and really talk on this mic. Like, we can't come out here and just be giggly and catchphrase, TV time, right? Like, we can't just come out here and do that right there. We got to, like, talk for real. And I feel like this was something that, like, this segment was in there for a reason. You know what I mean? And for them, the way they were talking and everything, I feel like this was kind of the blueprint going forward. I could be wrong, but I really feel like if this was like kind of a template for a lot of the up and coming women to follow, like, this is how we're gonna get it popping now.
And yeah, and I also was going to lead up to another storyline because after this segment, we had a little backstage interview. Jay Uso did his little yee. Who cares about that? But we had another backstage interview. Not an interview, but just pretty much Adam Pearce is letting AJ Styles know that he will be going against Dominic Mysterio at Saturday Main Event for the Intercontinental Championship. Not Saturday Main Event. WWE Night of Champions. But also, like we said earlier, Bailey is going to be facing Becky at Raw. And guess who also was there to hear the announcement? Bird Lady. Lyra Valkyria. And not only Lyra Valkyria heard it, Lyra Valkyria her appearance look a little different. Like, she just like over it.
She got that look.
Like, she's about to snap.
She got that look.
like she's about to rip somebody's head off their shoulder. Because apparently she was sending out text messages to Bailey. She was trying to check on Bailey.
Pick up the phone, Bailey.
And Bailey decided not to pick up the phone. She said she's going to tell Lyra, nothing personal, but I'm just looking out for me. And Lyra's last word was, when you win that title, I'm also going to look out for me. I think Lyra's about to go heel, y'all. And I'm here for it.
Lyra about to get her respect.
I'm here for it. I'm here for the respect. I'm here for the heel run. I'm here for the attitude. Look, you about to put some feathers on your outfit because you about to snipe everybody out. And I'm here for all of it. Heel Lyra, I am here for it.
Yep.
All of it. Her promo's actually going to be on point too. Because she's going to let y'all know if she ever wins the belt again, her title run is going to be way different.
You know what? Liv was right when she was saying her division. Because if you think about it, she came out and said this is Monday Night Morgan, right? And the way she was talking on the mic, so comfortable and talking just like real. She was, like, it's like the rest of the ladies are following suit. If you really look at this shift on this Monday Night Raw, mind you, I wasn't like this was definitely not one of my favorite Raws. Okay, but there were things in this Raw that I really liked.
Like you could see potential story building.
Yeah, and also, like I said, almost like a blueprint or an attitude shift, a refocus of the women's division and how they kind of carry themselves. And that's why I said, like, Liv kind of set the tone, and then you have Becky and Bailey out there kind of reestablishing how women cut promos. Like, man, look, I'm kind of feeling it now. Like Monday Night Raw, like the women running the show over there.
Well, it's about to be Monday Night Morgan. And while we're speaking about Liv Morgan, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, when you wrestle Kyrie, you might as well protect your limbs because she's coming after every last one of y'all for the injured list. We have Liv Morgan versus Kyrie Sane, and this match was only for 45 seconds pretty much. We have Sane dodging the running boot from Morgan, then Sane blocks a boot from Morgan, and then Sane did a single leg takedown, which was the most ugliest single leg takedown in my opinion. And then Morgan's right shoulder awkwardly landed on the mat, which caused Morgan to regroup on the outside, and the ref had the force to cancel the match because Liv Morgan suffered a dislocated shoulder or arm. So, Liv Morgan, shout out to you. We hope that you have a speedy recovery because, yes, this is your division. I am a Rhea Ripley fan, but girl, you have been putting up the work. You know, there is people who didn't believe you could make it this far, and you proved to them that the Liv Morgan tour was a success, and it's still happening. So, Kyrie Sane, girl, I'm gonna need you to go back to the Performance Center. That's all I gotta say to you.
Yeah, it's not looking too good, Kyrie. Plus, she never cuts promos. Oh my gosh.
She her English still ain't there. So fast forward, we're just gonna speed through these little segments. We had a little, everyone knows CM Punk is pretty much might be fighting John Cena at Night of Champions. We had Kathy Kelly did a boring interview with Sami Zayn. Dude, I still don't like that he's in the King of the Ring, but he's be facing the Viper Randy Orton, which we know he's gonna lose that, so ain't no point talking about that. Then they're gonna recap Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez. That was petty because we already know who's winning that. And moving on to the main event, we have Sheamus versus Bronson Reed with Paul Heyman versus Rusev versus main event Jey Uso. So moving on from that, we had this match was good, but Jay did not belong in this match at all.
What? Was there too many super kicks?
Like super kick, ugly spears.
Was there too much?
Look, let's start off with this. I'm happy for Jay for doing his single run, but bruh, you suck at the ring and you suck on the mic.
Mm.
He's terrible. I don't know. I get why his father's complaining because that's his son. But as a fan, I'm not feeling Jay. Okay, you take away the music. What do he got? Sometimes you gotta think like that. And even the crowd is not feeling him. They just like his music. Let's be honest. Let's keep it 100.
They like the energy
That's it.
for the entrance, and then that's it, really.
That's all you getting from the crowd. And I'm not feeling it. You have Sheamus doing his little 10 chops. You have Bronson Reed bulldozing Rusev and Sheamus. You have Rusev putting people in his deadly submission that pretty much could take your ribs out. And all Jey Uso did was a super kick, an ugly spear,
an insecurity,
whatever he be doing,
and a splash.
So it's like he's taking all these beatings, and yet you gonna tell me that he's still gonna lose? So of course, when Bronson Reed wanted to do his little tsunami, we have LA Knight came out and interfere.
Yeah. I mean, he came out just to push him off the ropes or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It was like the Avengers. Because you have LA Knight taking care of Bronson Reed.
Hey, don't give it that much credit.
I'm just
but
saying.
like, I mean, for each person that came out, the crowd got a little bit louder each time.
Yep. Not Sheamus. We have Sami Zayn coming out taking care of Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker pretty much squashed Sami Zayn. And then you have Penta came out of nowhere and did like a diving flip, whatever, to
yeah, that was
Braun
crazy
Breaker.
because he was the last person I thought was coming out.
Right. I was like, dang, you still got beef with them? Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I forgot Penta was even on Raw for a second.
Look, for a second, I was like, hold on, when Survivor Series?
Ooh,
too far away. This ain't gonna last that long.
Like I said, overall the match was good, but it's like to me, Jay just was the awkward one in the match. In my opinion.
Yes. And as all of that stuff was happening, it was like, yeah, he's definitely winning. Oh my god.
I mean, it made sense. Unfortunately, it made sense because you have Bronson Reed feuding with LA Knight.
Yeah, everybody else is preoccupied.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And who does Jay got? Nobody.
And Rikishi's like,
look, he gonna
win.
he gonna be crying today. And well, he shouldn't because Jay won, but then he gonna cry again. He's like, y'all just gonna feed my son to Cody Rhodes. Y'all know Cody gonna win because it's supposed to be Randy Orton versus Cody to go against John Cena at SummerSlam.
Look, Jay probably like, man, Dad, shut up, man. I thought I was gonna go on vacation and you had to just go ahead and ruin that jump.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he just lost the belt last week.
I wasn't even supposed to be in that match, Oos.
He should have been gone for 2 weeks, but hey, we're here now. So
man, I held that belt for 52 days, Oos, and here you go crying on the internet again, Oos.
But I but one of the things I did I like what Seth Rollins is doing. Like, I like that he got rid of the goofy stuff because after Jey Uso win, you have Seth Rollins coming out, taking off his jacket, taking off his bow tie, and you have Paul Heyman just collecting it, and Seth was rolling up his sleeve.
Man, Seth came out looking like a psycho.
Like he about to beat the mess out of Jey Uso. Like, bruh, we Braun Breaker's not in it, Bronson Reed's not in it. And I can't beat a LA Knight because he done ran. So I'm going to have to take it out on you. Because if I beat you up, it might put Bronson Reed in a chance to win. And you know what? Who decided to come out and save Jey Uso?
Cody Rhodes.
Who asked for Cody?
Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes.
Let's take a moment here.
Cody Rhodes.
Let's take a moment here. Ain't nobody was looking for Cody Rhodes.
Nobody.
Okay? Like, you have people turning the streaming off because they didn't want to look for Cody Rhodes. Like, what?
It got awkward.
Very awkward.
It was terrible.
Like,
this part was terrible.
This whole staring at each other. You have Cody staring at Seth. You have Seth staring at Cody. And those two history, yes, at first they hated each other. And then Seth decided to respect Cody to the point he actually helped Cody, WrestleMania 40, to win the undisputed WWE Championship, which he tended to lost to John Cena.
Mind you, I was going to say, Seth lost everything in the process
because
of looking
Cody
out
Rhodes.
for Cody. Yeah.
So what
And
I
this
am
was like you said after they had a rivalry and stuff, right? Like he ended up kind of respecting Cody for pushing through all those matches. Remember he had the torn bicep or
exactly.
tricep or
Yep.
whatever. So after all that, it's like boom, we're on opposite sides again.
Look, I know the draft haven't came up yet, but I'm pretty sure they're going to do like a Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is not the man he used to be. Cody, I'm sorry, your boy done went dark, and you know what? You might have to go dark too, because ain't nobody had time for babyface Cody
Oh, wait a minute.
Homelander.
You saying so it's gonna have to take a monster to beat a monster?
I'm just
Wait a
saying.
minute. Are we basically doing the CM Punk and John Cena thing with Rollins and Cody?
Or
Could
we
it be
doing
headed that way?
or Cody and John Cena. I mean, it's possible. Right now, Jey Uso won the King of the Ring tournament tonight, and Cody won last week. So now we have Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso. Let's take a moment there. They're both friends. They both want the same thing.
They both stood in the ring way too damn long at the end of this, and that's how we ended up fading to black. With them two staring at each other in the ring, not saying nothing. Jey Uso stumbling and bumbling, holding his rib cage, breathing awkwardly, just staring at Cody.
And blink a few times.
Man, this was so. It was not a really good ending to the show. I ain't look. The show was already kind of awkward in a lot of places.
Mm-hmm.
It was good in some, but the overall show, it was it was interesting.
That's why I started saying this show was a dookie.
Yeah. Oh. Whew.
But at the
Didn't
same
even
time,
spray air freshener.
But at the same time, I get it. They're just trying to build potential storylines, but it's like, dang, like I had to power myself to finish watching Raw because I was one step closer of going to bed. Ladies and gentlemen, this Raw was, I don't even know what to rate it because at the same time, I'm just giving a thumbs down at the end of the day because this Raw again was a dookie.
It was a piece of trash.
But I do like the potential storylines such as Raquel and Raquel and Rhea Ripley. Hopefully, if they do it right, that should go good. Obviously, when the draft comes, looks like LA Knight might be going to Raw to continue this storyline with him and Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins made a lot to enemies. I'm telling you, my boy about to get jumped. You might have to up that security. Just saying. I'm really not caring about AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio.
Neither do I. Not one iota.
Not even close. Like, especially if you have an idea how the outcome's gonna be, like who's the last man to go for it. I am and I'm not looking for the Bailey versus Becky because I like the little interaction they're having on the promo. They both pretty much hate each other. They both have something in common. They both were supposed to be gone, and they both made a change for themselves and for the better in the company. And then I'm really interested to see Lyra turning heel and how.
Yep. And one of the biggest things I'm interested in is to see how Liv Morgan is doing. All right, because we cannot listen. She just deemed it Monday Night Morgan. Okay, we cannot go back to Monday Night Rollins. Okay, been there, done that. No, thank you.
Exactly. Ain't nobody looking for that. But I will say this pretty much conclude our Monday Night Raw interview. I almost said interview. My bad. But we're not going to go over here and do a rant or none of that stuff. It's just something, a quick little review letting us know that our opinion was last week Raw was better. This week Raw was a little eh. And not so far not looking forward to Night of the Champions, to be honest. The only, I'm really not looking forward to it. I really don't care.
It just kind of looks like a thrown together pay-per-view.
Exactly.
Honest,
it's like
premium live event, excuse me. But
so unless they really like, because I believe it comes out next month. So unless they really like build up a decent build for Night of the Champions, I will be interested. But right now it's just like I don't know where AJ Styles has beef with Dominic Mysterio. It's like, dude, You just said you had beef with Seth Rollins, and then because Paul Heyman, you feel like Paul Heyman's threatening you, you know. And then you have these nothing match. First of all, Liv shouldn't be fighting Kairi Sane, to be honest. But here we are. And then you have John Cena putting his title on line for CM Punk. That's not even a good build either. Like, honestly, I prefer those two to fight in SummerSlam, but beggars can be choosers. So that will conclude my Monday Night Raw review.
I guess that's it, folks. You've been listening to the Wrestling Bubble, and if you made it this far, please hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Turn on those notification bells so you'll know when we go live, when we drop a video, etc. That'll do it. Peace.